Have you seen this? But Merlin in a metaverse. What a fucking horrible reality we're living in. Oh yeah, bro. You you're locked out of the real estate market forever. But here's the metaverse. Fucking buy land on the fucking metaverse. Like fuck you. If somebody told me, hey, so a good enough alternative to the state of dispossession of the millennial generation is to buy virtual land that has real value, I will just tell them, fuck that. Fuck that. Because what the fuck, right? So they're trying to do this whole idea of the metaverse, right? Meta means is similar to meta, which means she's dead in Hebrew. So the metaverse is the universe of the Walking Dead, right? The metaverse is the universe of the undead millennial adults, right? It's like, oh, you have no family, you have no future, you have no anything, but you can get yourself some Funko Pops, right? Is dead in
He meta.
meta, 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 meta. So meta, right? So it's kind of ironic that they decided to rebrand Facebook as Meta because there's also that it's like this unspoken analogy of yeah, social media is the place where depressed people go to die, right? Lonely, isolated, depressed people go to die. I spot more land in the metaverse. So that idea of the metaverse. So news on that front sort of died down. By the way, like the current shit is AI. So everyone is scared that they're gonna lose their jobs to AI. And um, but before that, it was metaverse. So for a little while, the metaverse stuff was really was in everyone's minds. So it's kind of like this premise that so we can create a virtual world that's persistent and parallel in importance to the real world. So social networks are kind of like the primitive version of that, but the metaverse. So ideally, it will be some kind of like VR uh, power experience. And again, where supposedly so things will hold actual relevance and value, and that's where blockchain technologies come in. So blockchain technologies sort of allow you to express an owner so they provide an ownership model, right? So they allow people to sort of have unique resources, right? And to actually claim ownership of them, like nifties and all that, right? So so the metaverse thing, so some people said, well, so you're gonna have nifties in the metaverse and you're gonna be able to like show them off because they're unique. But um there's that issue of tangentiality, right? I like, well, let's call it that way. It's like, for example, I don't like buying virtual games. So the only virtual game that I will buy is something like Smash Brothers or Mario Kart, which I know that I'm gonna pop out very very often. So it sort of makes sense to like purchase it virtually, right? But I wouldn't do that for, let's say, but I don't like doing that with other games because so it kind of makes me feel as in, so when you purchase a game digitally, so you're paying for the convenience, you're paying for the service, right? So you're getting a lot of content for cheap or free, right? Cheap is the key in all that, by the way. So it's not completely worthless or anything. But that being said, I don't like I still prefer buying physical media and physical games because I think that there's something to that idea of tangentiality that I don't want to lose, right? So buying nifties and buying metaverse and all that, so it's kind of like the same thing. Why would I actually spend money for a bunch of air? I know it's not exactly a bunch of air. I know that it actually has value and virtual things in Steam and everything. So they actually do have monetary value. So I can see why people like that idea of the metaverse and all that. But there's that reptilian part of everyone's brain that sort of convinces them, bro, you're paying for a bunch of air, dude. So that's kind of bad, right? That's kind of like I don't like that. That's not good, right? Because it is not good. And so they're trying to push that idea of, well, so we're gonna create a metaverse, a virtual world that's gonna be perpetual, like the real world, and things are gonna have importance there and value. But people didn't really fucking buy it, so they moved on to the next thing. And the thing right now is sort of AI, right? Like, oh, are we gonna live in Ready Player One?